If you want to win basketball games, you need to play defense. Defense doesn't just win you games, but it wins you championships. If the other team can't score, you automatically win as long as you can score a point. So why not focus on defense, especially when kids are younger? If you want, go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. If you coach a young basketball team and you want to win games, this is how you do it. You win by defense. Right here, just as an example, there's a big tall guy. If he brings the ball down, you have to get that ball. If any player who is tall brings the ball down to their waist, you have to be able to get in there and steal it and rip it from them. And if you can't get it from them, at least get a jump ball call. That is going to change your game substantially and win you so much more games. Now, I am obviously not going to be breaking down my defense that I am currently running in this game because I'm going to be using it about half the season. However, what we see right here is obviously it's a swarm style defense. We are swarming any ball handler. We have ball chasers and a couple of players back in a zone so that we can get that ball turned over. This is a fantastic strategy that you can use if your league allows you to use a zone. If you are in a league that doesn't allow you to run a zone, you obviously can't run this strategy. But if we actually watch what my players are doing in this game, it's actually quite interesting, and it is something that I teach my players a lot. And that is physicality, but not in the actual hitting sense of things. Physicality, as in if that player brings that ball down to their waist, you need to get a hand in there to try to grab it. If the player goes towards the sideline, even if you're in a zone, you need to be able to trap the sideline. And you need to keep your hands off the offensive player. You need to be able to play defense with your feet. As we can see right here, hands straight up. Ball goes to the corner. I'm calling trap. Hands straight up again with a player in a passing lane. And because we have players also in passing lanes, and I teach my players to stand in passing lanes so that if there is a pass out of a trap, we are in position to be able to catch that pass so that we can intercept it and go back the other way. Now you're going to see Sebastian, number 9, right at half court. Now, this is the next tip. There's so many teams that do not press right at half. Even though they may be running a man-to-man defense, they wait until that ball comes to the three-point line. That is too late. In my opinion, if you want to play real defense, you pick them up either at half or at full if your league allows you to full court press. Here in Ontario, at the rep level for U12, we cannot press full court press until the second half, but we can pick up the ball handler right at half. If you allow that ball handler to travel that whatever it is on your court, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet from half until the three-point line, guess what? You are now allowing them to gain that much land on you. Think of it as as football, where it's a game of inches. You just allowed them to go 10 feet into your area, into your country, into your space. You can't allow that. You need to pick them up right at half. This pressures them, and this forces turnovers because now you're rushing the other team to make a decision faster than they really need to. Now, one thing that I really stress is if the ball is at the point or up the middle of the court near half or between the point and half, if you are the player who's guarding either that zone or the man who is in that spot and that ball gets passed to the player either in your zone in that area or if it's passed to your man who you're guarding, you need to be risky. You need to go and intercept that pass while at the same time aiming to take out the arms of the receiving player. Because you're both going for the ball, the hand is part of the ball as soon as it touches the ball, which means that if you take out their arms, that will allow you to have an almost pretty well guaranteed interception, and the referees will usually not call that foul, as we can see here in this clip. So what does this tell us? This tells us we can get some open, easy layups, as Sebastian did here. Now, if they try to drive on you, they try to dribble past you, whatever it may be, you need to get your hand in there to disrupt that dribble right here. Ward does a fantastic job. He gets his hand in there, makes an attempt on the ball, doesn't make any body contact, and then he's able to get that strip and go down court. Now, when you do get that steal, what's the first thing that you should do as a player? Should you dribble or should you pass? Well, if you dribble right away, you probably have quite a few players from the other team around you in most cases. So your best option is to pass down court or to an outlet man who is on your team. If you can do that extremely quickly, that is going to allow you to translate your defense into more points on the scoreboard for yourself, as we see right here. When you play basketball, you have to play with an edge. And what I mean by that is you have to be hungry for the win. And that's exactly what this U12 team does, especially in this clip where Ethan gets that rebound and right away he takes only one dribble and he outlets down court to Sebastian. But what does Sebastian do right here? There was a player going for that interception and he was obviously going for the ball. He doesn't just stop and let the other team get the ball back. No, he continues to run in his path to receive that ball, and he knocks the other player over. There was no foul call, but technically it would be a foul on the other team because that was a pass to Sebastian. Sebastian was on his line, or they could say that it's a no call because, of course, both players were going for the ball, and the ball is in the air, so that would be a good no call as it is, and Sebastian went in for that layup. You have to play with an edge, especially with those long passes, and you want to really be able to get it. Remember, if two players are moving at the same time, it's going to be either a foul on one of them, depending on how the referee views it, or it could be a no call as well. You have to play with an edge to be able to win games. This is one really good example of playing with an edge. Here we have a fantastic defensive possession that resulted in for a potential basket for pretty much any team that does this. First, Ethan tries to intercept the pass, takes the arms out, no call. Desiree then saves the ball from going out of bounds. At this point, the ball is loose. Keneal gets on the ground, takes out that player's arms. He's able to pass the ball off to Desiree before standing up and getting the travel call, which is great. He didn't get the travel call. Desiree then outlets to the man in the middle, which in this case was Sebastian. Now, this is a fantastic possession because it shows you the type of edge that you need to be able to win games defensively. You need to be able to take arms out so that you can get that steal. You need to be able to get on the ground to be able to get those loose balls. And you need to be able to pass quickly to the outlet man so that you can get the ball down court as fast as possible to score as fast as you can. This is how you win games with defense, especially at the younger ages, but this translates into even the highest of levels of basketball. This is how you win games. I hope that this video helps you. Make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that doubles the low post, traps the corners, and doesn't leave anybody open. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button, subscribe. I hope that this helps your team play more physical in their next game so that they can get more steals and more wins. But keep in mind that this strategy will get you more fouls in most games. So just keep that as a heads up. You will have more fouls. Anytime that you play more physically on defense, you're going to have more fouls, but you will get more wins. But you will also teach your players how to be hungry in games to win, but also the type of defense they will need later on in life if they look to play at the next level.